Solving Multi-Step Equations, Part 1. In today's lesson, students will solve multi-step equations by combining like terms. By doing what? Combining like terms. Very good. We're going to start to solve equations that involve multiple steps because they have many terms in the equation. So let's identify what terms are. So term is the part of an expression or an equation that is separated with an operation. So let's take a look at this expression here. We have 2x plus 3x minus 15 plus 5. First we ask ourselves, well, how many terms does this have? You see how 2x plus 3x is separated with a plus sign? Then you have a subtraction sign and an addition sign. So it looks like we have 4 terms here. 2x, 3x, negative 15, and positive 5. Now some of these terms have special names. Look at the terms that are blue, 2x and 3x. We call these variable terms. We call them what? Very good. And those are the terms with the, what do you think? Variable. So those are the terms with x. Yeah? Now take a look at the red terms. Do they have an x? No. They're constant, which means they're a number by themselves. We have a negative 15 and a positive 5, so those are the terms without what? Without x. Now, the last thing is we're going to review the word coefficient. Say it. Coefficient. And that is the number that is multiplied by x, or it's the number touching x. For example, in 2x, okay, the coefficient, I'm going to make it blue, is 2. In 2x, 2 is being multiplied by x. Coefficient is 2. Now, when we have terms that are the same, for example, when we have 2 variable terms, we have to do what is called combine like terms. We have to do what? Combine like terms. We have 2 of the same terms, we're going to put them together. So we could do that in this expression by first underlining the variable terms, 2x plus 3x. What's 2x plus 3x? What do you think? We need to add the coefficients, 2 and 3. What is that? Good. It's 5x. Awesome. Now we need to combine the constant terms, or the numbers. So what do you think negative 15 and positive 5 is? Do they have the same signs or different signs? Different. So say different signs, subtract, keep the sign of the higher number, then you'll be exact. So 15 minus 5, 10, keep the higher number, the sign, it's negative 10. So then we get this expression 5x minus 10. Can you combine these terms? Are they the same? No. Now that you have that concept, we're going to apply it to an equation. So, do we have variable terms that we can combine and put together? Yes. What are they? 2x and 3x. Do we remember what 2x plus 3x is? It's what? It's 5x. Now what I want you to do is bring down the rest of the constant terms. So bring down negative 15, and now it's going to equal 5. So in this equation, can you solve for x? Yes, by drawing a t and solving for x, yes? And that becomes a two-step equation right there. So the first step is to combine like terms, then bring down your constant terms. The last step is to solve your equation. Let's take a look at our first equation. It says x plus 3x minus 16 equals 8. So do we have some terms that are the same? Do we have some variable terms? We have x, we have 3x, yes? First we have to identify that those are the same by underlining the like terms. Okay, so we have an x here, and we have an x, and we have 3x here. Now the coefficient here is 3. How many x's are here? 1, right? So you can write that coefficient. And if you have two variable terms, the next step would be combine like terms. Do what? Combine like terms. Let's write that. Combine like terms. So let's do that. What's 1x plus 3x? Again, add the coefficients 1 plus 3. What's that? 4x. Awesome. Now we're going to bring down the rest of the constant terms. Negative 16 equals 8, so that we can do number 3, which is solve the equation. So to solve this equation, first make a t. Awesome. Circle 4x, and then ask yourself, what is the opposite of negative 16? It's positive 16. A negative 16 and a positive 16 make 0. Bring down the 4x. And what do you think 16 plus 8 is? 16 plus 8 is 24. Very good. Okay, so again, the coefficient, or the number that's being multiplied by x, is 4. So what's the opposite of multiplication? It's what? Division. So when you divide both sides by 4, 4 divided by 4 is 1. And what does x equal? Tell me, what is x? 24 divided by 4. Say it. It's 6. Awesome. Okay? Go ahead and get that down. Now let's write down number 2. It says 2x minus x minus 3 equals 3. Okay, so if we follow these steps, the first thing we want to do is underline like terms. And those terms I want you to underline are the ones with the x. They're the variable terms. They're the what? The variable terms. So we have 2x and a negative x. Now hold on. Is there a coefficient in front of x? What is it? It's negative 1, right? Because that's 1x. Now that we've underlined them, we can combine like terms. Combine like terms. So to combine like terms, we just work with the coefficients. What's 2 minus 1? 2 minus 1 is 1. But don't forget the x. It's 1x. Then, to solve, we're going to bring down the constant term. So bring down that negative 3, and then it equals 3. Are we good? All right. Now we can solve the equation. First, make a t. Very good. You can circle 1x and ask yourself, what is the opposite of negative 3? It's positive 3. A negative 3 and a positive 3 make 0. Bring down 1x. And 3 plus 3 is, what's 3 plus 3? 6. Now you have the situation where 1x equals 6. How do you get x by itself? Divide both sides by what? Divide by 1. And we know that 1 divided by 1 is 1. And x equals, what's 6 divided by 1? 6 divided by 1 is 6. Very good. Okay? Go ahead and get that down. Now write down number 3. It says 2x minus 4 minus 3x equals 3. So to solve, first we have to underline the like terms. So underline the variable terms. Those are the terms that are with x. Underline the terms with what? X. So we have positive 2x and negative 3x. Once you've underlined those like terms, you can combine like terms. Do what? Combine like terms. Now, even though they're separated, we can still put them together. We have a 2x and a negative 3x. So look at those coefficients. That's a positive 2 and a negative 3. Same signs or different signs? Different signs, subtract, keep the sign of the higher number, then you'll be exact. So what's 2 minus 3, or 2 plus negative 3? It's negative what? Negative 1x. All right? And then bring down the rest of the constant terms. So you have a negative 4 equals 3. Now you can solve this equation, right? Because now the variable terms are together. So first, make a t. Circle negative 1x, very important. Then ask yourself, what is the opposite of negative 4? It's positive 4. A negative 4 and a positive 4 make 0. Make sure you bring down that negative 1x. And what is 3 plus 4? 3 plus 4 is 7. Now here's the tricky part. What do you have to do to both sides now? Divide by what? Divide by negative 1. And we're going to have to remember Bob here, because when you take, first of all, a negative divided by a negative is positive, right? But when you have a positive divided by a negative, what's the answer going to be here? What's x going to equal? 7 divided by negative 1 is negative 7, exactly. Okay, so go ahead and get that down. X equals negative 7. Let's read our last example. It says negative x minus 2x minus 14 equals 4. So let's underline the like terms. Underline the terms with x. We have a negative x and a negative 2x. Is there something in front of that negative x? What do you think it is? It's actually being multiplied by a negative 1, right? Exactly. Okay? So we're going to take negative 1 and negative 2, those coefficients, and we're going to combine like terms. What are we going to do? Combine like terms. Now this is easy. Negative 1 and negative 2. Same signs, right? Yeah? So say, same signs. Add and keep. What's negative 1 plus negative 2? It's negative, negative 3x. Awesome. Because they're both negative, so it makes them negative. We're adding them together. Then bring down your constant terms. You have a negative 14 equals 4. So now we can solve the equation. First, make a t. Circle negative 3x. And what is the opposite of negative 14? It's positive 14. Very good. All right. Negative 14 and a positive 14 makes 0. Bring down, again, negative 3x. And it equals 14 plus 4. What's 14 plus 4? It's 14 plus 4. Come on. 18. Awesome. Okay. Tell me what you do now. You have to divide both sides by what? Because this is being multiplied, so we want to divide both sides by, divide both sides by negative 3. When you divide both sides by negative 3 divided by negative 3 is 1. And x equals, let's remember Bob's cousin here. We have a positive 18 divided by a negative 3 is negative what? It's negative 6. Awesome. Okay, so go ahead and get that down.